Fighters from al-Shabab stormed a military base Tuesday, killing at least 7 soldiers, including the base commander. Assailants rammed the base in the village of Hawadle with a suicide car bomb and then opened fire. The base is located about 60 kilometers north of the capital, Mogadishu, and was taken away from the al-Shabab last October by government forces and allied clan militias. The government announced on Monday that it had captured Haradeh, an al-Shabab stronghold on the Indian Ocean coast that it had held for a decade. Now for more on the increased al-Shabab attacks in Somalia, I'm joined live via Skype from Washington by Harun Maruf, VOA senior Somali editor. Harun, tell us more about the recent spate of al-Shabab attacks in Somalia.
Yeah, this attack was very early this morning. This military base, they have used a tactic they have been using for a long time, that is detonating car bombs on the military base, and then they stormed the base. According to the government, 5 soldiers were killed, including a senior military commander. The government said it repulsed the attack and killed 21 al-Shabab militants. Al-Shabab claimed killing 63 government soldiers and confiscating weapons and military vehicles. It's always very difficult to verify casualty figures given by both sides, but we understand that the fighting between the two sides, the government military offensive, al-Shabaab retaliatory attacks are increasing by the day.
Do we know more about this commander? Was he targeted or was this a random attack?
The commander was the lead officer, the most senior officer at the base. It was his soldiers that were attacking. He was at the base at the time. He's the commander of the 3rd Battalion of the 27th Division of the Somali National Army. But he's very well known, very well respected. He was not just a military, he was also helping the local community get support from aid agencies. Local officials praised him for that. But he was involved in the attacks and the operations against al-Shabaab for a long time. He's a very well-known military officer in that area, and he's from that area as well.
Harun, do we know if there are any incentives of any kind from authorities to help civilians, flush out these extremists that may very well be known to them?
That has been one of the most difficult tasks and challenges that was facing the country for many years, is to get the support of the locals on their side so that they can defeat al-Shabaab. And al-Shabaab, as we know, still controls vast area in the countryside. There are a lot of civilians in these areas. Al-Shabaab still taxes the local communities. They collect livestock from the local communities. One of the most senior former al-Shabaab leaders once described al-Shabaab like a fish that cannot survive without the community. So al-Shabaab is going to fight to stay within the community. But the government is trying to get the locals on their side. Since August, locals have been mobilizing themselves to support the federal government, and that's how the government succeeded in driving al-Shabaab out from more than 70 localities in the country. Yesterday, the government reported capturing 2 key towns in the central regions. Today, government also captured another town. So the offensive is progressing, but al-Shabaab is trying to halt this offensive by carrying out retaliatory attacks on isolated forward operating bases, including Hawadle, the base that they have attacked this morning.
Harun, thanks. Harun Maruf is a VOA senior Somali editor.